A lot of times I hear people in the real estate industry call it lead generation. We like to call it client generation, because I think lots of real estate brokers can be great at generating leads, but leads don't pay the bills.
We should be changing the terminology in our industry from lead generation to lead generation and cultivation. If you think about what farmers do, they don't take a bag of seed and strew it all over the field and then miraculously expect plants to crop up that are going to sustain them over the long term. So if you're spending your time hunting only for the leads that are going to buy today, you miss out on that income 6 months and 12 months and 5 years down the road.
Lead generation is a byproduct of just living my life.
Social media is beautiful. Where I see agents making mistakes, though, is when they post virtual tours and they say things like, oh, houses are flying off the shelves and I wrote 3 contracts today and sold 2 yesterday, and if you need to sell. That's annoying. You want to be real, be authentic, and be genuine. And I believe that genuine authenticity, when it is conveyed to the public, brings people to you.
My ROI is improved when that consumer Googles me and they find more content. They see that I have a YouTube channel with thousands of videos. They see the Facebook fan page with all the likes. They go to Twitter, they go to Instagram. You can't just expect to give them money and then get results. You have to work it. We can generate all the leads in the world, but if we don't track whether or not they end up at the closing table to earn a commission check, then it doesn't really matter.
Every single agent in this room should have a spreadsheet going of where the closings are coming from, because that's what tells you where to spend your money.
When it comes to any type of lead, the only thing in my company that matters is response time. If you take 4 hours to get back to that lead, they're dead. They called Coldwell Banker. You know, they called someone else, you lost the business, forget about it.
I am asked over and over, Leigh, how do you sell so many houses? And it's a really huge secret. Y'all lean in and listen close. It's rocket science, really. I answer the phone and I call people back. And we know the consumer today needs immediate gratification. They need to know right now. They can't be bothered to wait. Well, when you don't answer your phone, they roll down the street, the website to the next person.
I simply try and stay in the moment, and I take care of the person who's right in front of me right now, whether they're in an email, whether they're in a phone call, because you can wow people with that.
The guy that's relocating, you know, he doesn't know who we are. He does know who RE/MAX is. So if we're going to get business from that affiliation that we wouldn't get otherwise.
With a RE/MAX agent, there's some level of expectation that there's a level of experience there.
I speak throughout the country, and one of the questions I'm asked is, Leigh, why are you with RE/MAX? And I get to tell them that I am proud to be affiliated with the most recognizable brand in real estate. I love RE/MAX.
That's pretty cool. Well, let's get to some of the nuts and bolts. Okay, Bart, I'm going to start with you, okay? What specific tools do you use to generate leads and why?
Vinnie, the tools that Zillow, and largely because of the client testimonials that I have from my past clients, I've cultivated that, and I have about 71 positive reviews, and I've had a great response from that. Lead Street, just this year already, I've closed 2 transactions off of Lead Street. One of those, I was a dual agent, one of the largest transactions I've done. Sensations, one of our approved suppliers, that's how I stay in touch monthly with my past clients. And then Facebook. Every time I sell a house, I just post. I had a closing earlier today, and I posted a picture of my sold sign in the yard. Just, I've got 2,000, 2,500 friends on Facebook, and it's kind of passive-aggressive marketing, if you will. So those are my specific tools.
I think that's pretty good. Hey, Leigh, let's go to you. Why is it important for agents to actually get out into the world and obtain leads?
Well, y'all know I'm the tacky one of the group up here, so I'm just going to tell y'all, the way we make money is not by swiping on a screen. It is not by acting like we're making money on Facebook and Twitter when you don't take those relationships offline. We make our money in missionary-style real estate. Belly to belly, nose to nose, toes to toes. And Vinnie can't bleep me because I didn't cuss, but the reality is if you don't get out of your office and go talk to people, look them eye to eye,
ask them questions and find out what's happening in their lives, you can't effectively serve them. And that's what brings the consumer to you, is knowing that you want to serve them in that time.
The one thing, if you know Leigh, there is no filter. And that, I love her. You are just absolutely the best. Okay, Andrew, tell me about why you think it's important for agents just to focus on a few lead generation tools versus a whole bunch. You know, isn't more better?
So, you know, it's funny. I see lots of great agents out here. We go to the exhibit hall, we go to conferences. Everyone chases the new shiny object or squirrel. And most of the time we're chasing too many shiny objects before we get really good at mastering one of the lead sources. So it's my opinion that realistically you start with mastering one specific lead source, get really good at it before you add more, because what happens most of the time is we're just inundated with too many systems before we master the ones we have. What's interesting is you showed our YouTube channel, and that's been, you know, similar to what Bob Sokoler said earlier. And Bob, there is another agent from Louisville up here, and he pronounces it correctly. Yes. So, but as far as video's been a huge part for us, and it's free. And I'd like to give a video out similar to what Bob did. If you go to humbleimplementation.com and give me your email, and I'm going to send you a video. It's not one of Leigh's videos, because she was getting a little scary over here with the video. She's talking about stuff that she's doing. But go to humbleimplementation.com, and we'll give you a video about how we set up our YouTube channel and how we generate leads from it. That's awesome. Okay, Bart, where do you think you get your most return on investment?
Staying in touch with my past clients, without a doubt. You have to do that. You know, whether it be through Facebook, and the thing I love about Facebook is it's a casual conversation, and you know, whatever somebody's going through, because a lot of times people will post something, you know, good, bad, or indifferent. But if you just let them know, you know, personal, impersonal touch, whatever you want to call it. You know, just yesterday, I got a buddy of mine who his wife is dealing with cancer, and you know, I posted several things on Facebook. But yesterday afternoon, I called him and just told him, "Hey, brother, I was just thinking about you." And you know, but you got to care. The catch is you have to care, and you have to be authentic, like Leigh was talking about. So.
Well, and I think on the social front, and I think this is something that's really important, because today, and we talk about the millennial. I'm not a millennial anymore, but I'm still kind of close to it. So I think that consumer is going to do a lot of research about you. They want to see you on social channels. They want to look at your YouTube channel. They want to go to your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, not necessarily because that's suddenly going to make them, it's not going to create a lead, but it's going to warm up and convert a lead. So it's how you can, you know, look to the consumer to get the idea that they may actually call you. When they look at all that, it helps warm the lead up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Leigh, tell me about how you strategically use different social media sites when you're trying to reach different demographics. We had that discussion backstage.
So you have to know which groups are on which social networks. If you didn't realize that the highest average income of all the networks is on Pinterest, because that's where women are, and women dominate the money in this country. Let's call it what it is. But also, oh, you men, y'all better go on and cheer. The ladies are sitting here next to you. Come on. So on Pinterest, it's very visually driven. You're not going to drive traffic with the front of your house, brick accent, vinyl sides, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. That is not engaging. However, if that house has a really cool faucet in the kitchen, or maybe it's got a killer tile job in the master bath, do a detail shot and post that on Pinterest, because that's going to generate traffic back to your website if you've done it correctly. That's a huge opportunity place. Twitter is a big old cocktail party. You can go there to lurk and get news and get the word out about your listings. Facebook is a dinner party, and that's where you've got the 30 to 55 crowd, and the fastest growing demographic on Facebook is 55 plus. They're there to hang out with their children, their grandchildren, and their buddies from high school that they've lost. So there's different audiences in different places. You have to be cautious, though, because if you put the same words across networks, auto posting, that's deadly, because the Instagram person who's 23 looking for their first home tunes you out if you're talking Facebook language, and Facebook people get tore up by hashtags. They just cannot deal with all the hashtags. So you've got to tailor your message to your audiences. But I want to piggyback on what Bart said about authenticity. There's nothing authentic and engaging about you posting an open house from 1 to 3 on Saturday afternoon at 123 Main Street.
Bingo.
Because what's going to happen is your audience is not going to unfollow you or unfriend you. they just going to hide you, and you won't know they're not looking at you anymore. But if you said, hey, I'm having an open house, and I've got the best hot chocolate in town, and it's got the best climbing tree in the front yard, you've told a different story. So you've got to be talking to the people that you're hoping to engage with in relationship offline when you go further.
And I think on that same token, like YouTube, for example, which we've done really well with video testimonials from clients, all those types of things, a lot of people aren't comfortable getting in front of an audience or getting in front of a video camera. But in reality, it doesn't take a lot of time, and it's completely free. Your consumers get to hear from you. You get to educate them. It ranks really well in Google. You can use it to convert leads. It's really an amazing tool that just isn't utilized by enough real estate agents when consumers want video. Just like Bob said earlier, consumers want that information.
Okay, Andrew, how much time should agents give a lead generation tool to work?
So, I answered this earlier when you asked it, and it's funny because I think it depends on whether or not the agent does what they need to do before they decide to start spending money with that lead generation source. So, for example, whether it's Realtor.com or Trulia or Zillow or any of the other great providers that are here in the marketplace today, a lot of times an agent will spend money with that source, then they won't put a photo on their profile, they won't put their website on there, they won't put their phone number on there, they won't put their bio, and then all of a sudden 2 months go by and they want to know why no one called them, and then they blame the lead source. But in reality, it was the agent's fault for not doing what they needed to do before they started spending money with that. So I think if you actually do that, it's my belief 6 months, because I think it takes that long for you to figure out how to communicate with that specific lead source and for it to get time to work.
Yep.
May I interject?
Yes, you may.
Mr. Duncan here is talking about profiles. If any of y'all have a balloon head on Remax.net, you're crazy, because we're not sending you a referral.
Bingo.
You're also playing to your other agent audience.
Yeah, I will say there are agents who have lost a referral opportunity from me because their Main Street profile.
I mean, I'd like to petition Remax just to say if you don't have a picture of yourself, you shouldn't get a lead.
Ooh, I like that.
Literally.
Let me do that.
That's great. Okay. I couldn't have said it any better. Great job, guys. Bart, I know you've had great success with Lead Street. Tell us about it.
Well, just Lead Street, number one, you have to have your profile set up, and you have to have realistic expectations. I've always had my profile set up with the zip code selected, and I've had reasonable expectations. When it first rolled out, I think I heard agents say, well, I'm not getting anything off of Lead Street. Well, keep trying, because eventually it will pay off. I mean, I've already closed 2 off Lead Street this year. So, just persistence.
Well, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to ask one last question. It's going to be a Leigh. You've been to a lot of conventions. Do you have a plan when you come to a convention to generate leads?
Well, all y'all can hand me a business card if you want to, but I'm not going to do anything with it. I come to a conference, good try, baby, good try. I come to a conference with a plan to find 5 people to add to my world. I want to have meaningful conversations. I want to know more about who they are, how they approach the business, what kind of honor and integrity they have. Are they going to be the kind of agent that mirrors the way I do business? They get added to my world, and I'm going to keep up with them. And that doesn't mean the rest of y'all can't have a shot at that, but you cannot meaningfully connect with everybody in this room.
There's only 4 spots left. She already added me as a friend on
Three.
Facebook.
Three. I already, there are 3. There's 3.
Well, I met a wonderful man named Ed. Ed, you in the room? We met on the plane on the way here yesterday. I know everything about Ed, and so he has to send his referrals to me now because I know too much. So you got to connect with people. Don't be fake, and you'll have really great relationships at the craps table, blackjack tables, roulette tables, I've heard. And you will find people in the hallways between classes. But you've got to be out there. You've got to be visible. I got a great tip about hanging out in the expo center. Hang out there all day. You'll see everybody in the joint. Then you can meet people, talk to them, and get free stuff from our vendors. So just be purposeful about it, y'all. And then follow up with those 5 favorite people after conference. Send them a personal note. Call them on the telephone, because your phone calls people, doesn't just swipe. And then you will have cemented that relationship, and they'll think of you and you'll think of them.
Hey, we had great advice. How about a round of applause?